The other big thing coming up is Arizona Beer Week. This is going to be the second beer week. Last year was just amazing for the first year ever. I think you guys had, what, 50 different events, promos, tastings throughout?
At least.
Andy's already looking tired just thinking about last year. I don't want to think about you. Because not only does he have to does he get involved in that, but then you do something else during the day, right? You have a day job too?
Yeah.
Something about brewing beer?
Yeah, occasionally.
So he's got to worry about making sure there's enough beer besides attending these things. Fortunately, I have nothing else to do except be part of Beer Week. So I'll be at your event whether you're pouring my beers or not, as long as we're having beer. At any rate, it's the Brewers Guild, of which Jerry's executive director, is putting the shindig on. It's going to be a lot of focus on the local beers, the great craft brewers we have in the state of Arizona, which, by the way, 5 of these 6 beers were Arizona beers. We deliberately didn't share what they were because it was more about the styles, but I made sure you were drinking that. There's nobody that really bottles a stout or a porter regularly. At least there wasn't available where I picked these up, so I picked a different beer for that. But these 5 are all examples of how great Arizona brewers can be. Anyway, it's an 8-day celebration. It starts at the Arizona Strong Beer Festival on the 18th of February. There will be beer dinners after that. There will be food pairings. There will be bicycle cruises, pub crawls. There'll be. Do you guys have anything weird planned yet that you can announce, or you keep it quiet so I don't steal?
A lot of, I've got a lot of things I'm talking with the people, but definitely looking for different. There's always going to be the beer dinners that we're going to be involved. I think last year we did, for example, we have a wonderful beer festival, the Strong Beer Festival. It's a very successful beer event that we get to showcase a lot of great stronger beers that a lot of local breweries and other regional breweries come and participate. But a lot of breweries were doing like a kegs and eggs kind of beer breakfast before get your gut luggage to go down and enjoy the Strong Beer Fest. So different things, think outside the box, craft beer, beer in general, and talking about doing like beer and cigar and barbecue pairing, different things like that. We don't do a lot of general public brewery tours, so that was one of our most successful things. Was that we're gonna continue with that, and every one of our brewers every half an hour just brought in a new group to the brewery, and do an educational with them, a little tasting, and get them through, because we are a working brewery, so it's pretty busy back there. It's kind of like going down to a busy restaurant and can I tour your kitchen during lunchtime? It's kind of like, well, that's our brewery's pretty busy back there, but it's a good way for them to kind of gain knowledge of what we're up to back there. And so different events, different distributors, breweries, we're all going to have a lot of fun, unique beer pairings, events, tastings, giveaways, festivals. So
try to avoid the beer pong round robins.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe a special release tapping. Go to there and try a beer there, and then there'll be another special release tapping an hour later from a different brewery. So you can try some new offerings from different local breweries, regional breweries. So kind of map it out, because there'll be a website with all the different locations where you can take advantage. You might be able to hit a meet the brewer happy hour at one place, and then meet another brewmaster at the beer dinner at some resort down the road. There'll be a lot of good things to do.
And the one thing to emphasize, even though the name is Strong Beer Festival, there will be some beers that aren't quite as strong for those of you that maybe need a break or that are faint of heart. At any rate, I think the one thing that was very important to take out of this is that this is the time for craft beer, and it's an era that will not end. One of our local brewers released a beer this Saturday called Belle Epoque, and it was a very bizarre traditional miner style beer, a Crescent, similar to a farmhouse or a saison beer. But at any rate, that wasn't important. What was important is Belle Epoque was a description of the period from the late 1870s up to World War I, and it means beautiful era, or beautiful period. Well, as craft brewers right now, we are in our beautiful period, our beautiful era, and it doesn't look like there's any signs of slowing down. As Andy said, my company made a major investment in craft beer. Other distributors are making major investments. That's not going to go away anytime soon, so we're not going to let it go away. There is a great opportunity for craft beer in your restaurants, bars, etc. And there are ways to work and partner to make sure that you're maximizing your dollars. And folks like Teddy and Andy and Jim and myself and Jerry, we're all available to help make sure that happens. So if there's any questions, anything any of us can help you with, please feel free to ask.
It's hard to follow Chuck. He's one of the most enthusiastic craft beer people in the state, I think. I've been involved with craft beer in Arizona since its inception, really. I worked with the state legislature back in the mid-'80s to get the laws changed so that we could actually have small breweries here in the state that could both produce beer and sell it directly to the consumer. The first breweries, Bandersnatch was mentioned, opened in about 1988, along with Dave's Electric Brewing down in Bisbee. So I've seen the industry really grow tremendously here in Arizona. As restaurateurs, we should really take advantage of this growth to help your particular establishments. The Brewers Guild was established in 1998. The industry was sort of in its first growth spurt at that point, and the local brewers decided to get together and form a union to promote the industry, but also to offer an opportunity for networking amongst the brewers, to help resolve problems, to talk about new ideas, and kind of to keep an eye on legislative things that were happening that affected the industry. In promoting the industry, one of the first things we established was the Strong Beer Festival. This year will be our 12th annual event for that. And as Chuck mentioned, although it's named Strong Beer Festival, there's actually a wide variety of beers available. It would be very difficult to spend the afternoon drinking only strong beers. But it's a great event, wide participation by the distributors, the local brewers, and we really appreciate everybody who gets involved in that. And it raises the awareness of craft beer in general, which is our goal. The more people who know about craft beers, who have an opportunity to try them, the more people that are likely to come into your establishment and order one of these beers. And as has been mentioned, your profit margin can go up on those. Currently, the Guild has 26 member breweries of slightly over 30 breweries in the state, so we are very well represented by the state's breweries. On our educational side, in addition to trying to do outreaches to the general public, we have some programs internally to support continuing education amongst our brewery members. We give them some financial support for going to various seminars and things related to the industry. So that's also part of what we do. So now, last year we started Arizona Beer Week to once again raise awareness of what craft beer is all about, and to get you folks involved in what's going on, and to give you an opportunity to participate. We put up a website, azbeerweek.com. Any establishment in Arizona can log on there. You can post your event at no charge on the website,